Good evening, everyone. All India Educators Forum welcomes you to Speak to Success, Own Your Voice event. This program is special. This program is slightly different from all the sessions that we conduct at AIEF, just because it focuses on taking action and it focuses on you stepping out of your comfort zone. Tea Talk, as we call it, is a space for teachers coming together and talking, sharing about their experiences, their ideas, their strengths, their challenges, their vulnerabilities, the courage, the stories that they have. It is a together time of learning, sharing, and growing together. It is also the tea time, that is the chai time. We all know the power of a cup of chai when we are in school, going from room to room, classroom to staff room to office. The rejuvenating power of the humble chai. So we can call this a chai pe charcha too. Over here at All India Educators Forum, we are committed to take you on a journey of transcending your illusions about speaking in any forum. Speak to Success is an open invitation to all of you to join us, to help you, guide you, to be on the path of greatness and success. What is success? If we look at the version of society, the universal definition of success is defined by a big, huge bank balance, a huge amount of priceless possessions, or the power, the position. But that is just the tip of the iceberg that we see gleaming, shining in the sun. The huge chunk which remains underwater is unseen. That huge chunk is filled with struggles, discipline, blood, sweat, tears, failures, getting up every time you fall. That is how you reach the tip of the iceberg. That is success. Success is also defined by how much you love and how deeply you are loved, how much you are ready to give and how much you're ready to receive, and how continuously and consistently you live in your passion. So, with that connotation of success, I welcome you again to the program Speak to Success. Our first speaker of the day is Ms. AMBILI WARRIER, PGT Mathematics from Sabarigiri English School, Kerala. Her topic is influence of social media on students. She believes in working diligently, she loves her subject, and she empathizes with her students. And she also listens well to them. Over to you, Anjali ma'am. Ambili ma'am. Sorry.
Thank you. Thank you, Nina ma'am. Good evening, all. I'm here to... Can you hear me, ma'am? Am I audible? Okay. Good evening, all. I'm here to speak about the influence of social media on students. First of all, let me tell you, technology or information and communication technology has improved really well over the past 2 decades. The key development is in the emergence of social media. In today's society, the use of social media is necessary in our daily activities. It is used for social interaction and access to news and information and decision making. The most influential social media tool is social networking sites. Facebook, Twitter, Blogger, Google are all familiar names to a large part of our society. The social networking sites can be used to connect people worldwide. The possibilities are almost endless for social media. The influence of social media platforms on our education systems is gaining strength in the global era. So, it is an important part of a student's life. Being a teacher, I would like to talk about the impact of the emergence or this technology on our students. This technology has many positive aspects, including better communication, timely information, learning, enhancing skills, etc. It has negative aspects as well, including social isolation, identity theft, and cyberbullying. When we talk about the positive aspects of online learning, the first point is it encourages online learning and enhances academic performance. Students use them for research purposes. They connect with students with similar academic interests. Their interaction with teachers, friends, and online knowledge sharing behavior has a significant impact on the performance, on the academic performance of the students. Another aspect of online learning is that it enhances creative thinking or creative learning. Social media helps in improving creative skills in students by allowing them to learn and execute things by doing it themselves. They develop interesting hobbies and reveals their hidden talents. When it comes to negative aspects of social media, the first point is its impact on health. It can have mental and physical issues on students. Students do not have proper meals on time. They do not take proper rest. It has also adverse effect on their eyes. Students become lazy and less interested in going out or meeting people. Another problem is that it reduces reading habits in children. As the information is available at their fingertips, they do not refer to books and journals. Next major effect is that it causes distraction. Students tend to lose their focus on studies and enjoy browsing on social media. This leads to wastage of time. According to me, this is the most dangerous effect of social media on our students and youth. They turn to online video games and waste their valuable time. This causes not just health problems, but students turn to criminal activities and show suicidal tendency. There are many cases around us in which students rob parents' bank account for money. These problems finally end up in bad mental health of children and suicide attempt as well. Parents find it difficult to handle their children and are surprised to see the dangerously transformed personality of their children. In these trying times, parents must make sure that their children make use of social media platforms for good purposes only and that they do not waste their time for browsing unnecessary things. Parents must have a control on their children from the beginning. In such cases, learning and extracurricular activities are encouraged through through which students get motivated to reach greater heights in life. Thank you.
Thank you, Ambili ma'am.
Thank
That
you,
was the
ma'am.
most interesting insights that you gave us about social media that, dangerously transformed personality of children, and where parents don't have any idea as to why the children are behaving like that, what is causing them. So the cause could be, one of the causes could be social media. And the other thing is, which I really connected to, was about the reading habit being replaced. So we educators need to make a vow to ourselves, make a promise to our students to give a book in the hand, a physical book, replace the tab or the phone with the book. I think that would be our greatest achievement if we could do that. Thank you, Ambali ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Our next speaker is Dr. ARCHANA DHOKALIA. She is PGT Commerce in Don Bosco School, Delhi. She comes out to be a very humble, down to earth person, very soft spoken. And the most admirable quality about her is that she is an active learner. The topic for today is life lessons from the pandemic. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Nina, for your kind words. A very good evening to all. Flashback to 1st January 2020. As we welcome the new year with new hopes and aspirations, looking forward to another year of opportunities, experiences, better career prospects, vacations with family, friends. Did we have an inkling of what life had in store for us? No. But things changed and changed within days. The ensuing lockdown brought almost everything to a standstill, except the essential services. During the first wave, the mortality rates were low as compared to other countries. But the second wave was very scary and infectious. There was hardly a family which did not lose a close or an extended family member, a friend or an acquaintance to the virus. Masks, sanitizers, social distancing, a positive report, oxygen cylinders, oxygen concentrators were terms we became so familiar with. And amid the mayhem, the churning began. Social churning, economic churning, technological churning. Today, almost a year and a half later, our lives have completely changed. We have all faced hardships. Each of us has a story to tell, from those infected with the virus and still facing problems in the post-COVID recovery phase, to others who had to make major adjustments in different ways, work from home, learning the digital tools, balancing family and work, jobs lost for some, dwindling finances, isolation, the list goes on. COVID-19 pandemic threw up several challenges and uncertainties and compelled us to face the circumstances and our adjustments to those circumstances, accept them as the new normal. But the pandemic also taught us some very valuable life lessons, which we earlier probably chose to overlook or ignore. So let's go through a few of these life lessons. And the most important, or at the top, is that our health is paramount. Good health is paramount, and it includes mental health. We realized that chronic health issues could lower our immunity and put us at very high risk to severe illnesses, including the COVID-19. So it was imperative that we avoid chronic health conditions, make lifestyle changes if required, re-examine our eating habits, our exercise habits, even our work habits, our hygiene awareness, in order to maintain good health, and keeping in mind that prevention is better than cure. Also, the pandemic forced humanity to slow down in different ways, causing financial hardships for many, apart from several other problems. The resultant stress gave rise to mental health conditions. No doubt, majority of us had the resilience to find ways and means to adjust to the new norms, but there were many who could not cope with the stress and needed counseling. So today we are all learning or practicing yoga, meditation, mindfulness to reduce our stress levels and improve mental wellness. The second important life lesson learned was that we need to value our relationships. Earlier, family, friends were taken for granted. We realized that we need to give them more time, stay connected, keep interacting with them, provide physical and moral support, especially to elders in the family, as and when required. It is better to care and share now than regret later when it is too late. Third important life lesson learned was that simple living brings happiness. Luxuries are immaterial. The lockdown made us discover facets of our personality that we were not aware of. So cooking, baking, music, painting, learning a new skill became our pastime. It even had a healing effect on many. And more significant was that we were ready to invest in learning a skill than investing in material comforts and luxuries. We realized that we could make do with what we had. Our happiness was not dependent on the modern conveniences. And happiness came through doing simple activities which we actually enjoyed. The fourth important life lesson, especially for us teachers, embrace technology. We had to with the evolving digital online tools to avoid becoming outdated. The pandemic also gave a fillip to all kinds of social platforms providing almost all services except the physical delivery of goods. So conferences, webinars, uh, professional development programs were being conducted online. Employees could collaborate with the organization or other colleagues online. So virtual participation became the new norm. And as teachers, we realized that online teaching and learning is here to stay. Another life lesson learned was that outdoor is therapeutic. Once we stepped out after the lockdown, we realized that the sight of plants, trees, birds gave us pleasure. We enjoyed the warm sunshine, the fresh air. We learned to appreciate nature. And last and most important, it made us sensitive and appreciative to those providing essential services. So when the pandemic was raging and we were locked indoors, safe, it was these people, doctors, nurses, other healthcare workers, delivery boys, security staff, and many others who were out there on duty and totally at risk to be infected. So we learn to become sensitive, to be appreciative, and show our gratitude to these people for their hardships and for the efforts they made to provide us these essential services. I have just mentioned a few of the life lessons learned. The list is endless. But each of these life lessons has made us sit up, reflect, introspect, adjust, and adapt to the new changes, hopefully for a better lifestyle where our stress levels will be low. We can give more time to pursue a hobby, to learn a new skill, bond with family and friends, enjoy the simple pleasures of life so that we are healthier, happier, and leading a holistic life. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Archana. That was an awesome share about the life lessons of pandemic. And let me tell you, you have covered almost all the aspects of the pandemic. And what I really liked about your share was we understood the meaning, the real meaning of life. We understood the joy of simplicity. We understood the joy of services that are provided to us that we have always taken for granted. So, thank you, ma'am, for that share. It was really powerful. Let me welcome our next participant, Miss Betsy Nitto. She was ex-head of primary section. Presently, she is an educator at the Charter School, Kochi, Kerala. She is an enthusiastic educator and she goes out of her way to bring that smile, that excitement in her classes because she loves teaching and learning process. Over to you, Betsy ma'am. Her topic for the day is My Insightful Online Classroom.
Thank you, Miss Leena, for such lovely words. Good evening to one and all. Thank you, Matthew sir and Meena ma'am for this wonderful opportunity. And of course, the All India Educators Forum platform too. What is an insightful classroom? Being introspective, looking at situations from a child's perspective? Question mark. We are responsible for making our online classes most effective and interactive so that students look forward to attending it. Students do not learn much just sitting in the classroom and listening to teachers, memorizing pre-packaged assignments, and spitting out answers. They must talk about what they are learning, write reflectively about it, relate it to past experiences, and apply it in their daily lives. They must make what they learn a part of themselves. In order to create an engaging learning experience, the role of the instructor is optional, but the role of the learner is essential. And yes, online classes are a big thing now. Students expect to be bored by e-learning. Let's show them it doesn't have to be like that, but instead inspire and motivate them to learn a new skill, change a certain behavior, or improve their performance. Let us now look into how we as educators, teachers, could make this happen. Point number one, the planning and designing should be ready. The content means everything. If the content is not masterfully designed, all the rest would just go down the drain. For a lively online session, the designing should be more experiential so that students are able to relate the topic which is being taught. We need to integrate technology seamlessly into the curriculum instead of viewing it just as an add-on or an event or an afterthought. We need to think about what our learners need to do with that information after the course is finished and design around that. We also need to think out of the box and create this experience where the learner can interact with the content and their brains. We must teach tomorrow's skills today. Second point, tools in our online classroom. As I mentioned earlier, use of technology is essential to enhance learning. Use of tools that are interactive, interesting, where the learner is participating. There are various tools like the Quizy, Mentimeter, Forms, Slides, Nearpod, Kahoot, and on and on. I am still learning. Apart from technology, it is equally important to have an eye-to-eye interactive session in our daily classes. It could be a brainstorm session, a discussion, sharing past experiences connected to a topic, sharing dreams, goals connected to our concept or the topic that is being taught. So it would be good to be great listeners and allow students to analyze, think, and share their point of view. The class automatically becomes vibrant. Another tool which we could say is connecting it to art, sports, linking between subjects, bringing in a multidisciplinary approach. For example, as I was teaching in my class, grade 4 class, the topic plants, one of my parents calls me and tells me there's a book where it's a book which is a story with a conversation of two trees. I was excited, ideas clicked, and I got my children familiarized with the story. And our next class was a science drama. Oh, it was filled with excitement. Children dressed according to the forest theme. And those artificial forest backgrounds, some in the natural backgrounds, all ready to role play. And the impact was awesome. The message was clearly conveyed. Another experience I would like to share is when I had to introduce the animal world to my children. I had silently invited one of my colleagues into my classroom with her two cats. Can you believe the expressions and excitements they had? A lot of questions. They were like, are we in the right class? After that, and a lot of questions. After that, I asked them, do you have animals as pets in your houses? Oh my God. And they were like, they wanted to show their pets, and there was a lot of interaction. They were so excited, and they expressed their love for animals. The class turned out to be a unique one. A change from the usual always brings in excitement. Do a Ghumar in the social studies classroom. Make jellyfishes in the science classroom. Sing to a folk tune to understand language better. Learn balancing chemical equations with colorful clay balls, colorful buttons. Oh, I wish I could learn that way. Our Indian culture by itself is so diverse. Let's bring it into our classroom, blend them with our lessons. Learning becomes personal, in-depth, and stronger. Third point, we all know the attention span of our children, approximately 8 minutes. Our plan for those 30 to 40 minutes should have transitions. This should cater the needs, the different kind of learners which are there in our classroom. A little bit of talk time, sharing thoughts, which would help the verbal learners. A little bit of listening, where it would help the auditory learners. A slide presentation, video clipping, informative video clipping, which would help the visual learners. A little bit of activity, movements, connected to the topic for the kinesthetic learners. There is always a need to be impromptu and be ready with our plan B and C. Few attention grabbers would really be good. Scavenger hunt, doing a good art therapy would also get them back to focus. Hello, ma'am, can you hear me?
Ma'am, your video has stopped. So we can hear you, but the
Okay,
video is not moving.
so I'll just wind it up, yeah. So cooking preservation techniques could be shown as well in this platform, as the kitchen is so close, and kitchen being a home of science. We are making learning more experiential. Children would know the application of the concepts introduced. Their skills are getting developed. We, as teachers, educators, can make our class insightful, productive, if we think differently and from the learner's mindset. I wind up with this. Thank you for listening, and over to you, Ms. Neena.
Thank you, ma'am, for such insightful ideas for your online classrooms. You have given actually a personalized touch to the so not so personalized online classroom that we were thinking a year ago, but bringing in your ideas, your personal touches, like bringing your pet or your cooking methods. You got inspired by a book and then went ahead with a role play, and that was incorporated by shared by a parent, so involving the parents also. You brought everything into your insightful classroom. Thank you, Betsy ma'am. Husna Parveen Ji is our next enthusiastic participant. She is PGT English in JSS Public School, Malur, Karnataka. She finds joy in being known for her creative skills and applying the creativity to create creative classrooms. Today, she's here with us to speak on igniting minds to inspire lives. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Ms. Neena, and good evening to all. Today I'm going to talk about igniting minds to inspire lives. Inspiring, it's just positivity, inbuilt positivity. To inspire, we need to ignite minds. That's the most important. To ignite, we need to lit the spark to shine. Now, that spark will lead anyone to success. So life, the harsh reality of life is we feel that life will be successful with luxuries, riches, and comforts. But in actual sense, life will be successful only if we inspire at least one speaker or motivate one person in our life to achieve something great or reach their goal. The most important thing is how can we make a difference in our own life, in others' lives, and most importantly, in our students' life. So everyone knows that life is a gift, but very few will know its actual worth. So in the journey of life, many great people inspire us in every walk of our life. But one such great personality who inspired me is Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. So Dr. Kalam inspired in many ways, which that's when I met him for the second time. That was on the stage. There I noticed his simplicity, his politeness, his address with the students, and how he recalled his childhood and his teachers and his friends. Amongst all these, the most important thing which I liked is the dream and the vision for the nation that he had. So then I was curious to know more about him. I started reading many books and I read many stories on his childhood, his first earning, and his work life. Then I learned that how he tackled the difficult tasks, difficult time in his life, how he adapted failures as the first step towards the success and towards learning. He never thought failure is just like that, but here he took it as positively. Then I understood that nothing comes for free and everything has its own cost in life. We are the whole and sole responsible for our happiness. Here, I would like to tell you about a school teacher, a simple school teacher who made her journey through the thorns of her life to fulfill the thirst of education. So, the teacher had the thirst to gain the knowledge, to make and achieve something in the life, and to create her own identity. There were barriers on her way, and unimaginable barriers, and she never dreamed of even to step into a college life. Whereas later, with her dedication and hard work, she achieved MA BEd, and she's working as a teacher and speaking on a platform like AIEF, and she has inspired many people on her way. And she not only became the first graduate of her complete family, and she also opened the gateway to all the other girls in her family to get education. So her hard work, and that made her achieve. And for all these things, hard work and passion plays a very important role in achieving anything. Hard work is just slow process, but for sure, one or the other way, surely we will get success. If we wait for time to come, the time will never come, and the miracles will never happen. Miracles will happen only in the fairy tales. So it is very important for everyone to have a role model, and it's double time important to have a dream. So when we dream, obviously we have done half of our work. Where rightly Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, he writes in the Song of Youth, he compares the ignited mind as a powerful resource on the earth that no one can replace with any other resource on the earth, above earth, or under the earth. So igniting mind is really a wonderful resource and a powerful one that each and every one of us have. So it's very important to ignite mind to inspire. Today, I would like to share the 5 super secrets of S to have a successful life. So the 5 super secret of S is set goals, sacrifice, sincerity, self-motivation, and surprise. So you'll be wondering, how is it setting goals? Setting goals is very, very important. That is the first step towards your success. So once, if we set the goals, if we set the target, then surely we are halfway done. Then sacrifice is a part of success. Without sacrificing anything, we cannot achieve anything. Maybe it depends differently for each and every one. Sometimes we need to sacrifice our leisure time, our energy, our sleep, our many other comforts. Only then, if we sacrifice all that, surely we will achieve something in our life. Then how is it sincerity? Sincerity, being sincere towards the goal. So that is very, very important. So life is a race. Everyone knows life is a race. But if we have to run in that track. If we move the track or peep into others, then surely we will lose our own track and we'll not know what has deviated us. So it's very important to move on our own track and know the inbuilt talent without imitating others. And the next one is self-motivating. Time has changed and the world is very challenging. Maybe people are lucky who get people to inspire, but the harsh reality of life is not the same. Life is a people where we have to motivate ourselves. No one will surely motivate. People are very few who will get somebody to motivate, where here there are more people to deviate than to motivate. So the last thing which I would like to tell is, so we need to motivate ourselves and face the challenges of life. And the last thing is, all these things, whatever the super S of success is, it will come only when we keep our spirits high, when we will have the attitude of never giving up, and most precious of all, that is giving me time to our own. So here, me time is something that you will have it to yourself. We will give time to everybody in life, but not to ourselves. So giving this time to yourself will give time to introspect yourself and to know the hidden power of talent. So hope my super secret of 5S will some or the other way be helpful in igniting minds and inspiring lives. Thank you.
Those were most inspiring words, Husna ma'am. Thank you so much. You have rightly said that success doesn't happen in one day. It's not like you get up one day and you are successful. It is a journey. It involves sacrifice, it involves discipline, it involves perseverance, and the secrets, the 5S secrets that you have shared. Thank you for that awesome share, ma'am. Now I take the pleasure of inviting Miss Jyotika RAIZADA. She is ex-DGT Physics, KR Mangalam. At present, she is the founder of Jyophys, the Learning Center, based at Gurugram. She is speaking on the topic, A Journey in Online Teaching and Learning. She is an enthusiastic physics educator with a bent of mind. Jyotika ma'am utilizes effective classroom management skills to enable learners to develop their critical skills and competencies. Welcome, Jyotika ma'am.
Thank you so much, Neena ma'am. Greetings to everyone. Never stop learning, because life will never stop teaching you. This is what we have learned through this pandemic situation. We were in our normal routines, going to the school, teaching to the students, having interactions with them. And suddenly this pandemic broke out and the lockdown happened. All the normal became the new normal. We didn't know how to react. That was a sudden change. Certain adaptations were demanded from parents, from students, from teachers. And we, as usual, started cursing the pandemic, not appreciating the opportunity which life has given us. But gradually, yes, we started again on a new journey, which was our online journey. I'll share a few experiences in this journey and I hope you will relate to it. We started as an explorer. We started improvising new things to our teaching methods. We thought that maybe something will enhance the learning, the joy of learning in our teaching. We improvised new techniques. We made many of the PPTs, made many of the videos, learned various online tools. I'm grateful to all the resource persons, to all the mentors who came suddenly out of their busy schedule to give us teachings for the online tools, how to go about all the Google apps, Google Form, Google Slides, and whatnot. This was the start of our teaching learning process. But gradually, as our exploration started, The screens started disappearing. The students maybe were missing something. So we started realizing, was it apt that what we were teaching? Is it just the content based that we must show the PPTs and videos and that's all? No, maybe we were missing something. So again, the new exploring started. And we started that how to make the disappearing screens appear again. So I'll be sharing few of the experiences now. Once in my classroom to my senior students, I said, okay, let's have an activity tomorrow for physics around us. Find all the physics in the small, small things around you. They said, ma'am, we demand for some time. So I gave some grooming sessions to them. There were 4 to 5 sessions. Some illustrations were given, some instructions, some guidelines. And on the day of the activity, you see what all I had in front of me. I had few students singing a beautiful rap song, illustrating various laws of physics, which was otherwise, yes, tough to understand, tough to recall, but they made it very easy in their own way. So this was their critical thinking, what they came up with. Next group of students, they came up with some of the cartoon characters in which they got that few cartoon characters were not obeying physics laws also. They were not obeying gravity laws. And they came up with the fight between hero and the villains and the energy transformations they found in that. So it was superb and even, surprising for me too. Even I have not thought of that. So this is what the abstract, the critical thinking, the reflective thinking came from them. And few of the students came up with some primary short stories like Thirsty Crow, Greedy Dog, and they converted those moral stories into the science lessons. For it may be help for the middle school students. The Thirsty Crow, the moral was something different, but they came up with the Archimedes principle. Greedy Dog, they came up with the reflection of light. So that was a complete turnover of the thinking. It was complete critical thinking, what we were demanding for. And finally, few students came as the tour guides. They were guiding to the galaxy. They made a brochure of the galaxy, of our Milky Way. That was awesome. I don't know whether they were happy, but yes, undoubtedly all the screens were on. So it means they were enthusiastic. Second thing, most enthusiastic was me. Most motivational was me at that time, and the encouraged one too. Then another experiment I did was gaming in my learning. I learned few of the gaming tools from some of our resource persons. Again, thanks to them, and came up with the idea that one day and recently even it happened that on Environment Day in our center, I invited few of the students. But the chain continued and continued. The students invited others and others and others. And amazingly, to a very big surprise, there were many participants throughout India. They were from West Bengal, Madhya Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Chandigarh, Himachal Pradesh, and many more places. Because that word, maybe the gaming quiz, maybe that was, a bang on to them, to their interest. So when we started with round 1, round 2, round 3. And the request came that, ma'am, we want to witness the different rounds. We don't want to exit. Although if we have, not shortlisted for the next round, we want to witness that. That was the beauty of that online learning. And then the most powerful session, which even I liked, was when the scores came on the leaderboard for the students. It was not less than a major event where even you see in nowadays the football team or the cricket team, you see the scoreboard, this team rising high, first, second, third, and so on. So it was fun-filled. And at the end, we had a high, healthy, competitive environment for them. And we had, that was again, impromptu action that we kept an interactive session where they gave few suggestions. I accepted and will be applying it in the new future. And there were many questions, one common. And the major question asked was, when are we going to have this kind of event again? That was the most satisfactory thing, that yes, at last we got what we wanted. So this is the charm of online learning, because the online learning has taken the focus from content to the students. They have upgraded. Now we are also upgrading. We are explorers. We have become tech savvy. This is what they want. You have to serve them in the platter. Remember that the future kids, they'll demand the learning support that is appropriate to their context and the situation. Nothing less, nothing more. So you have to serve that exact in the platter. And maybe in the new future again, with the offline teaching, this online learning must continue so that the collaborative learning, the collaborative approach continue to go on. So what I started, I'll end up with that. Never stop learning, because life is not going to stop teaching you. So learn and have fun, rise and shine on. And last but not the least, I'll thank Nina ma'am and Matthew sir for giving us such a platform to express our views. Thank you so much. Over to you, ma'am.
What an amazing share, ma'am. The rap song and the stories and finding physics in your daily life. I mean, this is what NAP is all about, the National Education Policy. You're already living it with your children and you're doing it. And I'm sure they are enjoying every bit of it, because this is what experiential learning is. This is what understanding is all about. Thank you for that, ma'am. The twinkle in her eyes, the magic in her words, and the sparkle in her smile is how I would like to introduce our next speaker, that is Miss Mary George, ex-principal at New Model English School, Mumbai. Her passion is teaching and her hobbies are reading and gardening. We are so grateful for your presence, ma'am. Mary ma'am's topic is Aspire to Inspire. Over to you, ma'am. Is Mary ma'am here? If not, then we'll have to go on to the next speaker. Okay. So we go on to the next speaker. I take this opportunity of welcoming our next speaker with a quiet confidence, exhibiting great compassion and positivity. There you are, Mary ma'am. Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Great to
I
have
can
you
hear you,
here,
ma'am.
ma'am. Yeah. Great to hear your voice and see you. So, ma'am, over to you with your topic,
Some problem
Aspire
with
to
the network.
Inspire.
Sorry.
That's all right. We all have these technical glitches.
Okay.
That's okay, ma'am. No issues. So over to you,
I'm
ma'am.
sorry for the technical problem. Thank you, Leena ma'am, for the kind words. Good afternoon to all of you. If you don't believe that impossible can happen, you are right. When you feel you are less than others, you are right. When you believe your mistakes cannot be undone, you are right. When you feel this is the best it is going to, you are right. But when you think someone will never change or rise above their brokenness, you are wrong. If there is some motivation or inspiration behind a broken person, definitely he can do miraculous thing. Who wouldn't like to be inspired? Yes. Today I would like to speak on the topic Aspire to Inspire. Aspiration and inspiration, two beautiful words. And it has a world of meaning in itself. It can change a person from the nadir of his disgrace to the zenith of his glory. There are times in our life when someone crosses our paths and changes our direction. Someone who made such a difference in our life that we can't imagine how our life would have been if they would not have walked into our life. Someone who inspired you to achieve what you want. Someone who motivated you to get what was inaccessible to you. Someone who inspired you and encouraged you to be the best version of your life. I'm very self-critical person, and that always blocked me from getting what I wanted in my life. But I have a person in my life whose guidance and acceptance have been unwavering. He listens to me to talk about my happiness, my sorrows, my pains, my success, and all my anguishes. To have someone who wholeheartedly listens to you, accepts you, and motivates you is an amazing factor, no matter what the situation is. The person whom I talked about inspired me to believe in myself. He inspired me to never give up. He inspired me to be a better person. Today, I am what I am just because of the inspiration and motivation of that beautiful person. When the pandemic situation started, our schools were going on smoothly at the time, but we slowly switched off from live classroom to online. What a transitional period it was. A person like me, who is only 20 to 20% literate in computer, life seems to be horrible, terrible, and complete disaster. Every day was a disaster for me, a nightmare for me. But the person whom I mentioned earlier inspired me, helped me, motivated me to learn computer. And today I can handle the situation with ease because of the motivation and inspiration of that beautiful person. But I believe in one thing: certain darkness is necessary to see the stars. Now I inspire and motivate teachers of my age that success is nothing but an act of courage. So be the change that you wish to make changes in others. I would like to repeat that word: be the change, or first make the change in you and try to motivate or inspire or try to make changes in others. Great teachers are remembered not for the knowledge they imparted, but for the motivation, inspiration, or guidances they have given to their children and helped them to lift their life achievements. No doubt, teaching is a noble profession and it is known to everyone, and it can bring the highest degree of satisfaction to oneself and to the students and to the surrounding also. The person who aspired me to become what I am today is none other than my life partner. I am grateful to God for giving me such a beautiful gift I can ever have. I am stressing on my words. Now, I would like to go back a little. I hope all of you must have heard our Prime Minister, Modi ji, once during his address to the teachers on September 5th, he said, teachers, no, just introspect yourself and to check whether you are a successful teacher or not. You have to see how many of your students will come back to you after the education is over. Today, I can say with pride that hundreds of my children are in constantly touch with me. I have inspired their lives, and the messages they send to me is an inspiring word to me. And when I hear that, I should feel that I should never grow old. I should be a young teacher and I should motivate my children till my last breath. Now, this is possible, no? See, should be, humble. We should be simple. We should motivate and inspire our children. And definitely, we should be motivated. Can have, sorry. I would like to say, so be an aspiration, inspiration, and motivation to others. I would like to end up my words by saying that aspire to inspire. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mary ma'am, for those inspiring words. I completely agree with you when you have said that, the real test of your teaching lies in when your students come back to you after they finish schooling. And if at all you receive those comments, those appreciative comments from the students, I think they are the biggest badge of honors for us as educators. They are the trophies, the awards that we feel proud of, that we are going in the right direction and we have made a difference in their lives. Beautiful, ma'am. Thank you for that awesome share.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Now I take this opportunity of welcoming a person with a quiet confidence, exhibiting great compassion and positivity through her words. She is Ms. Shali KS, TGT ITI, Central School, Bangalore. She is passionate about teaching and gets immense satisfaction out of it. The topic is a positive vision.
Very good evening to all of you. I'm Shali. First, I would like to thank Neena ma'am and Matthew sir for their encouragement and support. All of us know that we are in the toughest environment now, and the words like lockdown, weekend curfews, social distancing, self-quarantine, new normal, all these are quite common to us. And when we switch on the television, we could hear experts say the importance of staying fit, how to boost our immunity, do the exercise regularly, and so on. Why do they tell us all this? It says the importance of staying positive, isn't it? Recently, I happened to watch a movie named Lorenzo's Oil. It's a fabulous movie, and I was greatly influenced by its thoughts and beliefs. So I thought this is the better platform for me to share my learnings from that story. It's actually based on a true story, the story of a struggle of the parents, Augusto and Michaela, to save their child from a rare disease. So Augusto was an economist with the World Bank, and Michaela was an editor and a consultant, management consultant in the New York City. And their child, Lorenzo, he was a very happy child. But at the age of 6, he was diagnosed with a rare medical condition called ALD. It stands for adrenoleukodystrophy. And a person who is diagnosed with this, there is no chances of survival. And in 1984, there is no cure for this disease. It is actually a degenerative disease which impacts the insulation around the nerves. And it destroys brain in the young children. Sorry. So Lorenzo was diagnosed with this. So it started impacting all his skills. Lorenzo, who was a very happy child, who loved to play with his friends, now is completely bedridden. After a few days, he couldn't eat. And after a few months, he couldn't see. You can imagine how difficult it would be for the parents to see their child's health deteriorating day by day. And they took it upon themselves to find a cure for this disease. They approached many doctors. They went to various medical institutes, and they consulted many people to know whether is there any cure to save their child. And they also joined many support groups. But each and every stage, they were told there is no cure for ALD, and they should understand that, and they should happily spend the last few days with their child, Lorenzo. Augusto and Michaela went through many ups and downs, but they didn't want to give up. Finally, they raised funds from their family and friends. They hosted a meeting of international scientists and doctors. And it was in this meeting, one of the doctors mentioned about a particular acid, oleic acid, which can arrest this disease. They were so excited. They thought that they wanted to study more about this particular acid. So they went to many universities, they went to many research institutions, they went to libraries, they referred many books and all those. They wanted their main aim was to save their child. So they started researching on that, and they started experiment on that, and they created many solutions, and they added the solutions to Lorenzo's food. Finally, they understood that when they added the particular solution of olive oil and rapeseed oil, they could find some positive signs of recovery in Lorenzo. Actually, they have discovered the medicine for that. And they understood that it could not only arrest this disease, but it could reverse the disease. And later, Augusto was awarded an honorary doctorate by the Sterling University. What did you learn from this story? What I have learned from this story is that we should remain positive in all the situations. We might face failures at the initial stage, but we should not give up. Augusto and Michaela faced failures, they faced cynicism, they faced skepticism, but they were not ready to give up. So, always we should remain positive in all the situations. All the successful people have always a positive attitude towards life. So I would like to conclude by saying, stay positive and remain positive. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. That was an awesome story that you shared. Staying positive at the most difficult situation. It is difficult for human beings to do that. But if we know how to master that situation, and if we don't get bogged down by it and have a positive vision, I'm sure we can take over and move ahead. Thank you. Thank you so much. Our next participant is Dr. Shweta Singh. She is the academic coordinator at Summerfield School, Delhi. She is soft spoken, has a charming persona, and is very interested in learning. She is all set to speak on the topic online adaptability. Over
Good
to
evening,
you,
everyone.
Dr. Shweta Singh.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. And thank you, Nina ma'am, for such kind words. It was really motivating. So, my topic for today is online adaptability. When the nationwide lockdown was announced, everything came to a standstill. Apart from the devastation of the economy, the most affected has been the education sector in our country. Students have not been to school for 1.5 years, and it has resulted in learning gaps. To those who have not been able to access technological devices, particularly those from the disadvantaged sections, and there are genuine concerns about how to address those. I am here to talk about my experience as a teacher and coordinator of a private school where students have not had any major issues accessing a device. So, I am going to focus on digital adaptability in schools based on our experience. As the academic coordinator for my school, it was my responsibility to ensure that academics didn't suffer since the pandemic had taken us all by surprise. No one was trained for this kind of overnight digital transformation, nor were we. Our teachers had no formal training. In the beginning, we were all learners. But as time went by, we learned new tricks and tips to get started with online classes. We were off to a bumpy start, but soon it became a joyful journey for both the teachers and the students. The adaptability of our teachers and students both surprised me. But one thing I have noticed that the teachers are making more efforts to bring themselves up to date, attending webinars for their professional development, learning new tools and techniques every day to enhance their teaching skills to help students better. When board exams was on the horizon and there was no sign of school reopening, we had to think of online assessment. We managed that also. We followed school planner, conducted all the exams on time, all the inter-school and intra-school events, PTAs. An year passed in exploring things that would have been unimaginable before the pandemic. At the moment, there is a big debate going in our country as to whether online education is widening the gap between the rich and the poor, with the disadvantaged being left behind. I would briefly list both the pros and the cons. The first is convenience and flexibility. Teaching online offers teachers more options for engaging in instructional activities. Online faculty have more flexibility in teaching during non-traditional class times. They can also teach anywhere they have access to the internet. Some examples include teaching from home or while traveling. Getting to know students better. The online environment provides a more comfortable venue for shyer students to participate in course activities and discussions. I saw a sea change in my own 17-year-old son's personality. He never used to participate in any class discussions and debates. His class participation has improved dramatically and he is thriving in debates and discussions. In online courses, students' engagement and learning increases. Since all students are required to participate in discussions threads, every student needs to work through different problems and generate ideas and solutions. Students who typically don't participate in the face-to-face course are more likely to pose to a discussion and interact with their peer group in the learning process. Since students have more time to reflect and respond to the teacher's question, teachers get more in-depth research responses from students. Efficiency. Teachers find increased efficiency in some rote tasks. Some tools online in online teaching automate processes and save instructors time. For example, Google Form quiz tool drastically reduce the time spent grading, but it has many challenges too. Passive students. Unless thoughtfully crafted with intentional instructional design choices, online teaching can unfortunately make students into passive learners. These unengaged students may acquire the requisite lecture content and pass their assessments, but they aren't often able to apply their learnings outside the virtual classroom or make connections with previously learned material. We are getting lots of memes like COVID batch already. So, for learning to be truly effective, students must be engaged in the quality, breadth, and depth of their learning. Staying connected with students. One of the challenges of online classes is that much of the learning is completed asynchronously, and students often feel disconnected from their teacher as well as their peers. It is difficult for teachers to teach online when they struggle to gauge how students are comprehending course content and whether they are participating in learning experiences. We now see a lot of absenteeism in the class. Learning gap. Apart from some motivated students, I see large learning gaps in students. For example, the students who have come to class 9 have knowledge of class 7th only. As I am a biology teacher and I was teaching about cell to class 9. When children come to class 9, they know about compound microscope because they have worked on that in class 8. And when I started discussing about microscope now in online classes, they had no clue that about the its structure, parts, and functioning. So I had to take them to the virtual lab to show them the functioning, and but then that still, like, that on hand activities that they still miss. And in the students in the lower classes, they have lost practice of writing, and their writing has become illegible, like you cannot understand a word. But whatsoever, now it looks like everything is going smoothly at the moment. Hats off to our hardworking teachers who are giving out every inch of their effort and striving towards greater learning every day. With all benefits of online schooling, we can conclude that everything happens for good and we learn every day of our life. I personally think we are on the right track and better get that momentum towards the next level. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, Dr. Shweta. Online adaptability is the in thing, and the sooner we do it, the better it would be. As you shared for your students, the learning gap and how you filled the gap by taking them actually to a virtual lab to show them and have that clarity. Brilliant. Thank you for that, Chairman.
Thank you.
Coming up next is an educator with a unique style of her own. And what is her style? Let's be all ears and all eyes as she shares her learning secrets with us. She is Ms. Sindhu Ganeshan, Vice Principal, Vasavi Vidyalayam, Kerala. Her topic is work for satisfaction rather than success. She's a dedicated and passionate educator, warm and a caring teacher. Her teaching style is visual thinking and experiential methods. Her hobbies are drawing and reading. Welcome to this event, ma'am. Over to you.
Thank you, Nina ma'am, for your kind words. Good evening to all. Let me start with positivity and care. Thank you, AEF, Matthew sir, Nina ma'am, for giving me this wonderful opportunity. Work for satisfaction rather than success. Working for success makes you masters. Working for satisfaction makes you legends. Then excellence is a peak which should be sustained. Teacher is a person who removes darkness. We should do it with passion. Passion Passionate teachers are distinguished by their commitment to achievement of their students. Commitment is an essential element of successful teaching. Passionate teachers create an effective learning environment and increase learning potential of students. Passion leads to creativity. Therefore, passionate teachers have the ability to think and produce new notion in an easy way. Passionate teachers are those who make great changes in our lives. Their beliefs and vigorous action make us our inner values, realize our inner values. Passion contributes to teachers' motivation and performance. Students will like the subject only when they like the teacher. So be positive to the new improvement of the technologies. Students get everything in their fingertips. So we should give more than that. So think differently. 10 years back, when the teacher told to take notes from the blackboard, they took the notes to obey the teachers. Now, this new generation kids will take a snap or a photo in their Android within seconds and cool off themselves, or they will say, "Ma'am, please send the PDF. We will copy it. We will read it from that." So we should improve ourselves to the new improvement of the technology. Have a personal touch. Even if the child has 10 bad habits, and if you analyze he has one good habit, appreciate him for the good habits. Students will like the teacher and he will share everything with the teacher, and he will correct his bad habits also. Thus, the teacher can win the confidence. So appreciate him. Let me share one of my experience. It was my initial period. So what happened, when I was taking a lesson, I just patted a boy who said a correct answer. But after a few seconds, all his friends told he's crying. So I got scared because something wrong went. So after the period, I called him and I just asked him why you were crying. He told after his parents are working somewhere else and he's being taken care by his relative and caretaker. So when I gave him a pat, it made him so emotionally and started crying for that. So from that day onwards, I used to have a pat, something to appreciate them, like flowering claps, flying claps, or last week I learned a Bhangra claps to add in my classroom to make my children smile, to make them just smile. So when I enter my class, I used to say, my battery charge is only 30. So there are rest are 30. So give me 60% charge. So when they smile, my charge increases. So when I enter, after they say good morning or good afternoon, they put a smile on their face. So my battery charge increases. So that is a way. So appreciate your students and encourage them even for the small activities they do. Aha moments. Life's aha moments. You may have heard of aha moments. So you may have heard of, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You may have heard of Oprah Winfrey speak of life's aha moments. The term even appears in Merriam-Webster dictionaries now. Those moments of insight, when something makes you look at life or situation in a different way or with new perspective. During this COVID-19, we have all become students in one way or another. Learn to fill our days with new routine. Maybe you have taken online classes, courses, cooking, art classes, started updating ourselves. Maybe you have become a Zoom master, conducted virtual gathering. We develop a new perspective or add a flash of insight about our learning styles. That's the best part of education. The aha moment, it can be seen, heard, and felt in the classroom. As a teacher, I know the power of it. And there's nothing quite like that. A challenging concept is shared to a student. First, they may respond with a puzzlement. Puzzlement and even frustration. They can't understand the topic. It may take a few more tries or helpful hint or redirection from the teacher. And then the eye sparkles. Even a smile, a look of excitement from the students that says, I got it. They understood. That's an aha moment not for the students. It's for the teacher. Aha moments for the teachers. Empowering is everything. For teachers to tap into the sweet spot, a shift needs to happen where the students are more active in their learning. Students should be empowered to dive into problems and develop solution and understand on their own. Teachers have great opportunity to encourage students thinking as they facilitate, guide and support individualized learning with their students. As teachers question students' thinking, lead discussion, set performance expectations, students should become aware that they are not isolated in their learning journey. Empowering students is not an overnight change. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world, said by Nelson Mandela. So, change is required from our side. Are we ready for the change? Making change a top priority. One of the Newton's law of thermodynamics was that a body at rest tends to stay at rest. Slowing down, stopping, and staying at rest does not require effort. It happens very naturally. Many change efforts are not successful because they become one of the 100 priorities. So we should teach the children to prioritize their important. To make a change effect successful, you need to clear away the competing priorities and shine a spotlight on this one change effort. Teacher who do this well have a daily focus on the change effort, track their students' progress carefully and encourage them. Becoming a change enabler will benefit every aspect of your life and your students' life. It will even help you to change yourself. Making change a top priority. Do now, do next, do last, do never. So they can prioritize their change and they have to concentrate on the thing which should be changed now. So become a change enabler will benefit every aspect of your life and your students' life. It will even help you to change yourself. Next comes the wow factor. The wow factor, when it comes to educating our students, this can make or break a lesson. Wow factor always gives an advantage when it comes to motivating kids' learning, isn't it? That what we want to wow our students into further exploration, hook them to dive into their own learning. The advances in the technology have given us new opportunity for presenting material, enhancing how we disseminate information. These same advances make it all more difficult to engage students because they get distracted easily. Multisensory activities are always more powerful than your typical paper and pencil technique, lecture method. So student who has a hard time fitting into the traditional classroom environment will have a better experience when content is differentiated, individualized and gamified. By giving student a new way to engage with the content, there is a greater likelihood to incite curiosity. By gearing our lessons to take advantage of what technology has to offer, so we can mix and match with what we can do. We also foster intrinsic motivation by using their problem solving tactics, creative skills. The learning naturally becomes more relevant to their lives. The phenomenon of the natural curiosity is stroked, the joyful learning starts. Remember the power of wow factor in your educational practices. Earlier, we were teachers. Now, we are facilitators. Let me share a Chinese proverb. If you are planning for a year, sow corns. If you are planning for a decade, plant trees. If you are planning for lifetime, educate people. Be a well-wisher. Take a friendly approach. They should feel free to express their views, ideas, problems to their teachers. Teachers should go beyond the textbooks, teaching, content, lesson plan. They should enjoy teaching in such case that students will enjoy learning. We have to discuss about Malala, Obama, Chetan Bhagat today in the classroom. Take up challenges. Go ahead. It will not be a bed of roses, but when you overcome it, really something greater than that is awaiting you. So take up challenges. So don't fix to a comfortable position. Aim higher. Work towards excellence, not towards success. Don't think I have been selected out of 50. Feel proud that you're selected 1 out of 50. So prove yourself. Do the assigned work with 100% dedication, preparation, and hard work. Only a correct combination of dedication, preparation, and hard work will give you excellence. Let me conclude by saying working for success makes you master. Working for satisfaction makes you legends. Be a legends in your field. Thank you.
What a wonderful share, ma'am. You I had introduced you with, your hobbies being experiential methods and visual thinking. Throughout your presentation, throughout your talk, it was coming out so clearly. The way you were sharing the visual the visual ideas and the practical ideas that we are supposed to do with the children, and how effective it is, how important it is, and how we can empower our children with that. And we never know what inspires them. We need to bring Nelson Mandela, Mahatma Gandhi, all those legends into our classrooms. We never know. It could be a sports person, it could be anyone. So that kind of inspiration, if our children have, what a power-packed classroom it would be. Thank you for that awesome share, Sindhu ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
All good things come to an end. So we are here towards the end, but we cannot end without the gratitude list that I have. So let me start with thanking Matthew K. Thomas, my loving husband, who is backstage managing everything. The screen changes that you see, the runners that you see, everything is being managed by him very quietly backstage, and yet he's so inspiring. So like Mary George ma'am said about her support, Matthew is my support. If Matthew is my right hand, I think I am his left hand. So that is the collaboration that we have together. So yes, thank you, Matthew. And if you could come on screen, it would be great. People love to see your smile and light up the screen by your presence for a short while, even if it is for a short while. Can you come up on screen, Matthew? There he is. Thank you.
Thank you so much, all the speakers. Wonderful. So it was a great opportunity for you to come up and speak, and we felt happy to host you. That's what the platform is all about, to come and speak, to remove your inhibitions, because most of the problem arises when we don't get a platform, right? Everybody doesn't get chance. And this platform is created so that we can create chance for people who want to do it but don't know where to do it. So this has been a platform which is for you and by you. So I hope that this is the beginning of your speaking journey and beginning of your whatever you are going to do. You are going to take these little learnings and then spread and use our platform to do little things so that you can inspire others. So thank you, Nina, for hosting this program, Speak to Success. This was our first program that we had in these lines. So we hope to do these more every 2-3 months. So let's hope that we can encourage more people to come and speak. It's important as educators that we not only speak to our kids in our class, but also to educators, to parents, to kids all around. So I think this is a golden opportunity for anyone who wishes to come on a platform and speak. Initially, there are little fears of coming on stage and speaking, but I think gradually we can overcome that. And the more you come on and speak, the more your inhibitions will be removed and more confident you will become. So on this note, I think I'll hand over it back to Nina, who will close the proceedings for the day.
Thank you, Matthew. Those were such an inspiring words. Thank you. I would also like to thank each participant today. You had such unique ideas to share, unique stories, unique everything. I mean, there was no overlap of ideas. Everyone had their own uniqueness. So that was brilliant today. I would also like to thank All India Educators Forum for bringing us together and giving us this opportunity to share our ideas. I want to thank all the participants, who have joined online, who have been commenting on the speakers. So thank you for joining us live. And before we go, I just want to share some thoughts with you. Keep doing things which make you awesome. Be addicted to self improvement and self care. And keep lighting the learning in you, the fire of learning in you, so that you make the world a brighter place. So, bye bye. See you. Shabakher. Thank you for joining us.